So English रो टिके जदी माने फ्लुएंसी रे
सेठी आपण कोन टीचर आपण कहिए रे
इंग्लिश
जोठी आपण लागु छी मु बेटर कहि परिबी ओडिया रे तो सेठी तांको परमिशन नै कि आपण ओडिया रे कहिबे किछि असुविधा नै छै बोर्ड टाइम तो से माने आपण इंग्लिश लिखिले भी ओडिया रे पचरचुंती एंड वाइस वर्सा भी होची ओडिया लिखितिले भी से माने इंग्लिश रे पचरचुंती क्वेश्चन जोतरे क्वेश्चन पचरा होती आपण से ये रे आंसर करिवे सेटा हला जनरल रूल ठीक है so please tell us your name and roll number for this exam.
My name is Ashutosh-Mishra and my roll number is 501667.
Okay, now without mentioning your name and roll number, please give us a brief introduction.
My name is Ashutosh-Mishra and I belong to Sundargarh district of Odisha. I am a graduate with chemistry as an honor subject from the College of Basic Science and Humanities, Bhubaneswar, in 2020. And since then, I am preparing for the civil services exam.
So this is your first attempt?
In the Odisha civil services exam, it is my first attempt, sir.
You are also preparing for UPSC?
Yes, sir. I had just yesterday finished my mains of UPSC.
Okay, and in UPSC, this is your second attempt?
Fourth attempt and second mains.
So from that point of view, you are late in appearing in state civil service?
No, sir. The state civil service is lagging behind by about 2 years, and its age criteria is different from that of the UPSC. The state uses January 1 as a fixing date, and the UPSC fixes August 1 as a fixing date. So I could get eligible to appear for Odisha civil service this year itself.
Okay, so
due to my age factor.
Okay, so in the first possible chance you have given the first attempt.
Yes, sir.
For OPC. Why are you interested in civil service? Because you have a very good career record. You have scored a good rank in JAM. So you could have continued with masters and then research, PhD. A lot of other, even after that JAM, you could have gone to private sector. After JAM, also in MSc in chemistry, many IT graduates, they go to chemical companies, international companies like BASF and all. So we could have done that, or we could have joined academia. Give me some good reasons why you are interested in civil service.
Since my early age, due to my school and teachers' inspiration and support of my parents, as well as from my inherent inclination towards the civil services exam. Even I was supposing to do master in arts in my +2 and graduate, but I was told by my parents that they have very less opportunities. So I had given this exam of JAM to set a benchmark that if I qualify this exam, then only I could qualify the UPSC. So when I qualified, I was supposed to do 2 years of post-graduation, but due to COVID and some technical issues with the institute which I had joined, that is MNIT Jaipur, as they had no hostel facilities for boys, and I had gone there only because it is proximity to good Delhi-based coaching institutes, and also the era of online coaching institutes started just by then. So I decided to drop a year and prepare for this exam because I feel comfortable with this. Because in my graduation, it was like very succumbing to the exam pressure and wasting my own time. So I won't regret even if I fail in this exam in all my attempts.
Okay. About the answer to the point, point wise there. Okay. So first reason for my decision to go for a career in civil service is this. My second reason is this. My third reason is this. After that reason later. एमती को लंबे की कहले आपनकर मार्क्स ता अफेक्टेड हो ठीक अछि आ गोटे जिंस हला नेगेटिव कोनोसी जिंस कहले ने नेगेटिव कहले ने एठी जेमती आपन कहले कि पेरेंट्स कहले कि साइंस स्ट्रीम रे बेसी अपॉर्चुनिटी आर्ट स्ट्रीम रे बेसी अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं अपन फर्स्ट पार्ट ता कहबे ठीक अछि कि देयर इज मोर अपॉर्चुनिटी इन साइंस स्ट्रीम किंतु सेकंड पार्ट ता नेगेटिव
आगे
हां सेगा आपण कहबे ठीक अछि
आगे
One chemistry as an optional, you have to do history, which is completely different from the background.
So in science, I like chemistry, and when it comes to art subjects and going through the syllabus of the civil services exam, I thought it prudent to choose a subject which would help me maximize my marks both in my prelims, mains, and also give me the background of my culture, history, which I am also a bit interested due to my father is being a lecturer in history. And also the guidance available, the second point is the guidance available in history is ample than that of chemistry. Therefore, I choose history, sir.
Okay. Then you have done from the Koshara school.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then Sri Chaitanya Vidyalaya, Visakhapatnam.
Yes, sir.
Then College of Basic Science and Humanities.
Yes, sir.
You've done your chemistry. It's okay. So let us start from your 10th. So tell me something about Koshara. What is the geographical connotation when we talk about Koshara now and from the Vedic times? Okay, because Koshara is also found in the Vedas. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so that is number one. And two or three great personalities from your district and what has been their contribution.
Yes.
Maybe scientists, poets, literary figures, freedom fighters. Okay. Yes.
So the Kosar in ancient time is related to the 6th century BC Mahajanpada empires, and it is not related specifically to Odisha, but to the Gangetic Plain regions. And in the present context, Kosal means the geographical region of a district around Bargarh, Balangir, etc. And with regard to, sorry, sir, may I have the second question, please?
Any three great
Three great
personalities
yes,
from
sir.
your home district
Home district, yes,
and
sir.
their contribution.
So first great personality, I would like to take the name of the sports star in hockey, Dilip Tirki, sir, who is the present president of Hockey India. And he had contributed immensely in promoting his sport, in particularly the tribal belt of our region, where the sports colleges have been established. And in, I'm sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall, but I could try that a political leader, Joel Uram, sir, each the present tribal minister, he has been elected as a member of parliament for about 4 times or more. So he has contributed to the Indianness and Indian consciousness about the tribals and helped in tribal integration to Indians to the general society.
But was he elected for 4 times or more?
He was perhaps in more than 4 times. First one in 1998, first one in he became 2 times and 2
That is fine. But sure সেটা নাম্বারিং এ হয়
multiple times.
ওকে ক্লিয়ারলি সেটা কিছু সেন্টি রিকোয়ারমেন্ট রিলেটেড
আগে
ঠিক আছে কিন্তু ভুলটা কত
ভুল নেই 4 or more times খেলে মানে মিনিমাম 4 করে ही सारी सर्विस है.
So okay, what are the major tribes which you find in your home district?
Sir, I could find Mundas, Orans, also some Santhas, that's Mundas, etc. I could find.
Okay. What are the major problems which you think Sundargarh faces, and what solutions would you propose to those problems?
So the first problem I would recommend is that of the connectivity issue. We have no connectivity to the tribal hinterland by railways or the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. It's also lacking in some of the tribal hinterlands and general society. Second problem is that of illiteracy and less consciousness about the rural population. And third thing is lack of empowerment of the SHGs that have been created, because the primary value addition and marketing is lacking. And fourth thing is the educational institutions, they are very few, and that is also with less facilities. For example, other Vidyalayas have been created in my block, but no hostel has been run, though it has been created. So, students are wasting their time. And my suggestion and solution would be reaching to the tribals and developing consciousness and awareness about the schemes like the PM Janman and others. And recently, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana has announced about 1.9 lakh crores to reach all those hinterlands and connect with roads. And for education, I would suggest prompt action by the civil society, which needs to be the backbone of any democracy. So, conscious society would lead to better implementation of policies.
Okay. So, what are the major industries that you find in your home district?
So, due to the resource of limestone, we have cement industries in the Rajgangpur belt, and we have also coal resources from Gopalpur mines, which is helping, and also from iron ore from Bonai, which is helping the Raulkela steel plant and other small and medium enterprises. Mostly the steel plants are available, and also other small industries like agro industries, due to the high value addition potential of the agrarian dominated society. They are being encouraged by the government of making Odisha.
Okay. In sports, Sundargarh is very famous. So tell us why.
So the Sundargarh district is dominated majorly by the tribal population, but also with rough terrain, which has facilitated the self-reliance potential of our people, and physical activity has been the general norm since ages. And when it is being encouraged and nurtured by the government policies, for example, the hockey stadium in Sundargarh district and the international hockey game that has been conducted, it also promoted a consciousness among tribals and an alternate source of livelihood. And the success of stories of hockey players like Dilip Tirkisa and others that have promoted the same with hockey infrastructure facilities in the village level too, like stadiums. So that's all.
Okay. Then plus two, you have done from Sri Chaitanya Vidyalaya in Visakhapatnam.
Yes, sir.
So, which is the current capital of Andhra Pradesh?
So currently it's the Amravati, and being planned to be developed, and recent budgetary support by the union government of about 15,000 crores to develop Amravati suggests that it would be the next capital of Andhra Pradesh.
So for how long have you stayed in Andhra Pradesh?
For 2 years, sir.
2 years.
+1 and +2.
Okay. So do you support that instead of Visakhapatnam, which is the port, which is there, coast, it is there in the coastal area. Amravati is a better choice for as a capital.
Amravati was the capital of Satavahana's dynasty, and it has a cultural legacy of its own. And Visakhapatnam is a already developed area, and making it again a capital city would develop our urbanization, would create other problems, and developing Amravati would, in a planned manner, that would help more sustainable system of urbanization, as well as the example of South Africa having 3 capitals for judiciary, administration, and legislature has proved quite successful. So I don't think it would be a wrong decision to make Amravati a capital of Andhra Pradesh.
There is another place, famous place, Amravati, in some other state.
In Maharashtra, there is a place called Amravati, sir.
Why that is famous? Maharashtra's Amravati.
I don't know exactly, but perhaps it's on the bank of Godavari River, and some Sangam is there, perhaps. I'm not able.
Maharashtra.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So your home district is Sundargarh.
Yes, sir.
From where this name is from? Sundargarh.
So that exactly I don't know, but it was formed in 1948 after merging the princely states of Gangpur and Bonaigarh. So it was named like that.
So it is important. Okay. Etymology.
Filing report.
District portal पे नहीं देखिए निश्चित
कहीं की सुंदरगढ़ हेला सेटा तो
कहीं सुंदरगढ़ नाटा कोठू दिलेगे why it was called
हां सेटा देखिए आउथरे भी चेक करी
sundargarh.nic.in पे आपन को मिल जिवो गवर्नमेंट ये देखो
डिस्ट्रिक्ट पोर्टल रे भी पढ़ी थी
नथि लाग
माने व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड नाइट माने ता हिस्ट्री दिया है सुंदरगढ़
ओके अच्छा देखो जदि नो मिलियो
इट वाज ब्यूटीफुल आई वुड से टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन but it is
basically a fort type.
But yes,
so say type, but then you have to be very sure. Normally, then let me know.
I am on the keep.
Right. So, which are the major dynasties, ruling dynasties in your home district?
So, my home district was ruled in about 18th century by the Maratha Confederacy, and later on the Dios of Odisha, they ruled, and it was a princely state by the Dios of Odisha. I know that much only.
So, the district law history that became properly declared. Okay. So, Sita would be importance of right. Then, College of Basic Science and Humanities, they will give you +3. Okay.
OUET, SUET, sir, pata hai?
OUET upare pachari paribe, like, do we need another pachari? But similarly, like agriculture, forestry students, do we need another agricultural university? So, simply pachari paribe. You can ask anything under the sun, but okay. So you had chemistry honors, right? Okay. Can you tell me what is currently what is the use of your chemistry knowledge? How you will, as a graduate in chemistry, how will you use your knowledge, or will your knowledge of chemistry be of any help if you are joining as a, let's say, BDO or Tahsildar, directly or indirectly?
So it has more indirect help. And first thing would be that I could encourage the school students to prepare a field in science, mostly who are the tribals. I could sensitize them about the pros and cons and difficulties and how to navigate them. Second thing is the present growing overconsumption of antibiotics, which could be regulated by some knowledge of chemistry. The drug shops can be regulated. And in forensic also, there is some knowledge of chemistry, in particular the investigation part, the color changes and the use of chemicals. As a Tehsildar, perhaps I could give some of my viewpoints in that cases.
Have you heard of the term luminol? Luminol. It is used in forensics, since you said about forensics.
Sorry, sir. I would have heard, but I'm not remembering now.
Suppose I have murdered a person, okay, and I've cleaned the room, completely I've cleaned it. No blood stain, nothing. How will the forensics know? How will the forensic expert know
Yes,
that there was blood here?
There is a chemical which, when sprayed on those places, that identifies whether there was
Luminol will light up.
like
In the dark room, it will light up the areas where blood was there. Okay. Right. So, in hobbies, you are given reading non-fiction books. In which kind of books, non-fiction books you like?
particularly biographies and mostly of the civil servants I like, and also events related, historical related facts, mostly of current aspects and contemporary times. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, have you read a book called Reminiscences of the Nehru Years?
Sorry, sir. Being history optional, I try to limit my resources on history, and I try to read some other non-history topics so as to get.
So, what are the biographies that you have read? Which is the last one which you have read?
Last year, a autobiography of former Chief Election Commissioner T.N. Sassan sir was released, and I read it in 2024 after my OPSC mails. Due to it was also for election year, therefore I read it.
Okay.
And also
Sorry. So, you named the TN session. What is your opinion about the powers and the current functioning of Election Commission of India? Do you think that Election Commission is actually a toothless tiger? It does not have a lot of powers. Even if it has a lot of powers, it does not use them. What is your opinion? Or you think that no, it is a vibrant and very important institution. It has done its work quite well till now.
So in a Supreme Court judgment was there. I'm forgetting its name, but it says that Article 324, which defines the power of Election Commission, it is the reservoir of power, and there is too much of autonomosity that has been given to the Election Commission for free and fair conduct of elections in India, but it has some inherent limitations, like the government, as per Article 327, the government regulate by law the functions and functionaries of the Election Commission. So the appointment largely vests with the executive will, and they can choose a member which would be of their ideology and opinion. So in that sense, it could be a toothless tiger. Also, the code of conduct has not been made a legal act as recommended by the National Commission for Working of Commission, that is by the former Chief Justice Venkatacharya.
Okay. What about election funding? Do you think that the electoral bonds scheme that was fine, or any other suggestions which you have for a clean funding of elections in India?
Yes, as the Supreme Court has stated in the ADR versus Union of India case 2024 judgment, that it was infringing Article 19, Clause A of exercising freedom of speech and expression, as it was inheriting our rights of getting information. So it was making an opaqueness in the democratic system, which was also against the principles stated by the second ARC. So, but within the same system, there could have been reforms within the same electoral bond so as to make it more transparent, and also limiting the percentage of corporates donation and a collaboration of all stakeholders. A better scheme can be prepared.
Okay. It was also your optional history. So, which is your favorite part in history? Ancient, medieval, modern, world, Odisha?
So, ancient history I like, and also I have an inherent likeness for world history, but for mark basis, ancient history is more productive.
Ancient history.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, can you compare the communist school of historiography, okay, as compared to the nationalist school of historiography, and the impact of these two schools on modern or current understanding of history in India?
Yes, sir. The communist school of historiography or the Marxist school of historiography, represented by the historians like D.D. Kosambisa or R.S. Sharma sir, they gave a economic perspective of historical developments, but there are also nationalist historiography and also subaltern historiography, who tries to take, the first one tries to take nationalism as a virtue, with the example like Gupta period perceived as golden age, mostly to fight the British imperialism. And the second one, the subaltern historiography developed by historians like Mr. Guha, sir, that has to take into account the general public's contribution. And they all have contributed to scholars and newly coming history students to diverse their views and have a rich synthesis of different views and come to conclusion with evidence and reason. So that has contributed, sir.
Ramchandra Guha is he's from the national school.
Subaltern school, sir. Subaltern school.
And from the national school, who are the major students that you know of?
So I don't know exactly. I could not comment exactly, but I could say.
What about S.C. Roy Chaudhary?
S.C. Roy Chaudhary, yes, S.C. Roy Chaudhary is a nationalist scholar, and also Har Prasad Shastri ji, they are of nationalist school.
Okay. Can you compare the works of the two prime ministers of the two great dynasties, Mauryas and Guptas?
Yes, sir.
Who was the prime minister of the Mauryan dynasty?
Prime Minister
Mentor
was the Chanakya or Kautilya, but
what he has written?
the Arthashastra a work on politic craft has been written. Dharma Shastras, Smritis like Manusmriti, Yajnavalakya Smriti.
Who was there? Similar position was given to Chanakya. Have you heard about Kumandaka?
Kumandak. Kumandak's Nitisar book was their law book, was his law.
And compare these two, Nitisara and
Yes,
Arthashastra.
yes, sir. Nitisara was of the Gupta period, and it was written in a different socio-political environment, and Arthashastra was written in a different socio-political environment. In Arthashastra, the background was of second urbanization, which was growing, and the Buddhist and other heterodox sect religion were dominating with rationalist and pro-business policies, with social effect like accommodating to Sudra caste and women being given a prominent role. Example, Itijika Mahamatya was a bureaucrat in the Mauryas for women's welfare, and Ganikas, etc., were employed as spies of the state. But in Gupta period, due to decline in trade, majorly because of instability in the Middle East, decline in the Roman Empire, and other developments, the circulation of currency coinage declined, as most of the Marxist historians like R.S. Sharma in his book The Indian Feudalism in 1965 commented. And the position of Sudras and it brought the outcast as a new phenomenon with Kodis and Chandalas, etc. Position of women deteriorated, and the sati system we could find from the Iran inscription of 510, where the lawgivers, and also from the law books, where they recommended sati as a different, as an alternative to a widow following chastity. And also, principally, the Mauryan was of highly industrialized economy type with foreign trade, etc. But the Guptas having the Jajmani system that developed, that is the self-sufficient village economics.
Okay. So the people, the travelers who are come, especially during the high time of the Buddhist and Jaina period, can you tell me what they have written, especially the Chinese travelers?
Yes, sir. The Chinese travelers like Fa Han, Huan San, Itzing, the first Fa Han has written a kingdom of, sorry, a tale of Buddhist kingdom. The first Huan San is written C.U.K. and Itzing also has written a book, and they were part of Nalanda. The later two scholars were part of Nalanda University, and the Huan San taking Yogacara School of Buddhism, and they have commented upon different periods. The first Huan San, the first scholar has commented about the prosperity of Buddhism there, but later scholar commented that Hinduism and other religions like Tantrism also gaining importance, and through their though their writings overall could not be taken as correct, but they give a very rational perspective of understanding Indian society of that times.
Okay. So, what was the observation on Harshavardhana's empire?
Huan San traveled during the Harshavardhana's empire, but Huan San was patronized by Harshavardhana, and he tells about a strong emperor after so many of centuries, because we can find the Gupta's period was dominated by feudalism type of system, and trade and commerce were resettled, and growing strength of Harshavardhan was taken with assemblies such as Prayag Assembly, etc.
He belonged to which dynasty?
Pushyavardhana dynasty, sir.
Pushyavardhana. Right. So, in world history, do you think that the solution to World War I laid the seeds of World War II?
So partly the solutions and partly the economic scenario that developed after 1929 economic crisis of Great Depression, because it was stated that the seeds were in the Treaty of Versailles and other treaties, and Treaty of Hussein was the first challenge by Mustafa Kemal of Turkey to the treaty of the 1990s, and the Wargate clause on Germany, the massive amount of repayment of 6600 million pound sterling, which was also opposed by British scholars like John M. Keynes at that time, later revised by Young Plants. And the system of proportional representation system, which gave rise to Sacchi coalitions in Italy, in Germany, etc., gave rise to fascism and leading to World War II.
Okay. Currently, the problems we are facing now, a lot of conflicts going on around the world. Can you name some of the major conflicts which are going on now?
First one is the Russia-Ukraine war. Second one is the war in Middle East between Israel on one side and the other Islamic powers on the other side, with their proxy groups like Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis, etc. And the third one is the power of superpower game led by China on one side and the United States led Western Bloc on the other side. So,
and at least apart from the Israel conflict, what are the other conflicts going on? For example, what is happening in Syria?
The radical Islamist groups propagating jihad spearheaded by ISIS.
Currently, who is in charge of Syria officially? Who is the president?
Officially, it's the Assad. Assad's regime is there, backed by the Russian Empire, but there is also power game is being played between the US-led group and the Russia-led group.
So the in charge of the president, current president, he is what? He is the country's mainly predominantly
Sunni, and the president is the Shia.
Okay, so okay, that is one issue. Okay. Suppose you were asked to provide solutions to both these important issues. One is Israel and Palestine or Middle East issue related to Israel, and second is Russia and Ukraine. What suggestions will you give so that there is permanent peace?
Sir, in Israel-Palestine war, there should be a mandated pact between not only the nations but also the rebellious groups, and the UN system and UNSC-led security apparatus like the UN peacekeeping forces should be deployed on the borders, and the democratic system should be such that the radical groups should not be able to acquire power, and there should be a check within the Islamic system, and the Palestinians also should be given equitable amount of respect in terms of territory, dignity in their own homeland. So a sacrifice of interest on both the parties need to be there on Israel and by the Israelis, and that is the Palestinians. because no revolution can sustain without outside help. So outside help that must be curbed. For example, US-Iran peace nuclear deal that had brought little peace in the region. I mean, at that time, at least Iran was listening to the other powers. Now it has gone in a different mode. In terms of Russia-Ukraine war, we need to admit the fact that the US policy of expansion of NATO is also a reason to draw the war. So there should be mediated peace, which would give equitable solution to both the parties, having respecting each other's sovereignty. So,
Okay. What is India's position in both these issues?
in the Israel-Palestine issue, India recognizes the right of Palestinians for a self-determination and sovereign nation building. At the same time, it's the peace and against the terrorist activities of radical Islamist groups over the civilian populations, like our Prime Minister commented in the October attack over Israel by the radical group of Hamas. And in Russia-Ukraine war, the policy has been to bring back peace by negotiation only. And our National Security Advisor Ajit Dovalji has been appointed as a peacemaker from our side, our Prime Minister, towards this.
Okay. So recently, Odisha, Government of India has established a semiconductor manufacturing center. Can you tell me something more about it? What kind of semiconductor they are going to manufacture there?
So in the past year, multiple industries have come to Odisha.
No, specifically, a specific type of semiconductor.
I could guess that it is for the emerging electronic vehicle market.
Yeah, but since you are from chemistry, that
Our
is
lithium-ion battery that is
in
being
Odisha?
developed. Yes, sir.
Okay, that is basically you're talking about this electric vehicle project.
Yes, sir.
By JSW. That is what I'm saying. That is,
In Sambalpur also there was an investment over such project.
yes, that is one is that saying that maybe some or some other issues. Semiconductor, particularly a specific type of semiconductor manufacturing.
Fuel cell based semiconductor perhaps.
No.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very recently, for 10-15 days, it was in news. Okay. That is going to post Odisha's place in the semiconductor map of India.
Yes.
Right. So, recently, government of Odisha has launched Utkarsh Odisha. Launched or it was already there, making Odisha, they have kind of revamped it. Okay. What are the major issues related to manufacturing, especially manufacturing sector in Odisha?
Yes, first issue it can be taken that is of lack of adequate skilled forces in Odisha. Second is the environmental issues, as most of the land acquisition issue can be there due to the environment impact assessment and the forest rights acts. The NGOs are in the forefront of protecting the rights of tribals and other forest dwelling communities. For example, that we can see in the Niyamgiri Hills and POSCO, the steel company from Korea going back. The third thing is of the public apathy and perceived system of corruption. Fourth thing can be that of logistics and inefficient transportation, as our GDP contribute as about 14 to 15% of our cost of manufacturing being consumed by the logistics sector, rather than 6 to 7% that of other countries like developed countries. So less human capital resource, each one of the major reason for this less manufacturing industries being interested in India, sir.
So, what is in Odisha, we have so many mineral resources are there. Still we are backward. Why? What is the reason according to you? Or how we can, change this? How we can, in next, let's say 10 or 15, 20 years, be one of the developed states in India? Is that possible in the next 20 years?
Yes, sir. Experience of other countries like that of China and Japan that suggests that it is not impossible if we resolve to make reforms and do changes in our policy, analyze and assess them, and with the sustainability principle we go. The major reasons why Odisha is backward, the first reason can be the less awareness and consciousness of economy and capitalist approach in Odisha, because there are very less capitalists from Odisha. Second thing can be the lack of good human capital development institutes and sufficient amount in them. Third thing, the government policy which could be more effectively implemented. For example, in Tamil Nadu was the first state to implement the third shift policy for the women as a gender. So it was very inclusive and it boosted their productivity in manufacturing too. So, and empowering with an inclusive approach and making our SSGs a vehicle of development. For example, in Kerala, Kudumbasri was a project first for poverty alleviation, but now in last year perhaps they were being trained 46 lakhs as Kudumbasri women being trained in accountancy, financial literacy, and digital literacy, from going from poverty elimination to income enhancement. So that kind of, for example, in Odisha, the Lakshmi bus service has been created for block level connectivity, which could be used and leveraged by the local government administration for more connectivity and more awareness, as well as growth in market reach of the SSG products and tribal regions. So, for example, the IMF has said that if we increase our women labor force participation by the same percentage as that of the male labor force participation, our GDP could be boosted by 27%. So that could be true for Odisha also. And by an inclusive and equitable approach, we could be a developed Odisha by 2036.
Okay. So suppose you are selected in civil services and you are given to implement a very important project. Okay, and you have to take one subordinate with you. Okay, in your office there are two good people, two good subordinates. One person is very efficient, he will do all the work, and since this is a high stake project, so a person like him is needed. Okay. On the other end, there is another colleague, your subordinate, who is very, honest, sincere, but not all that efficient. Okay. In that case, whom are you going to choose? The honest person or the efficient
The
person?
honest person, definitely so.
Why? He'll not be able to do the work. You're having pressures of timeline.
But
You have to complete the work.
but mismanagement of the work would bring more defamation to my own career and also my report card than not completing the project in time. And also, if something goes wrong by bribery, corruption, etc., then not only my own career and name, the district as well as states and the state government would be defamed. And since the subordinate, which honest is working with the efficient one for uh, time for a long time, he would have also gained certain aspect of efficiency and consciousness towards project completion. So, but I could, if demanded and if necessitated with some circumstances, I could take advice from the efficient one, but while doing the work, I would definitely go with the honest one.
So if I rephrase the question, suppose two scenarios are there. If you take that efficient person to make a public road, okay, so he will take some commission from the contractor or whatever, he will do some corruption, but he will ensure that by the time road is completed, okay,
Yes.
people can use the road. Other guy, he will basically he will, check each and everything what is going to happen, and due to that, many problems will be there in the system, and the project will get delayed. The road will be completed after much longer time it will take. Plus, we are not really sure that that the project will be completed or not. So people will be angry. There are a lot of protests. So in these two situations, return is very good.
So recently in Bihar during monsoon, more than 13 bridges collapsed within a fortnight, which could say that efficiency with corruption can be a can bring defamation and less productivity, bad precedents over long time. It's better late than never. So I would go with the honest answer. Otherwise, it would endanger human lives as well as property, government funds, as well as people's faith in the public service.
You have even another hobby is watching non-fiction movies. So what kind of movies exactly?
Sometimes it is like historical movies based on we can say Cold War, World War, or based on real stories and spies, or on a biography on a man's character like Sam Anixa, or the Khaki was released as a
Those,
yes, sir. Mostly realistic movies.
which is the last such movie you had seen?
Um, Perhaps it's the web series of Khaki. The Bridge of Spies. The Bridge of Spies was a movie, Hollywood movie, led by Tom Hanks, which was based on Cold War, and that I watched, and it was on the theme of prison and spy exchanges with honesty, integrity, as well as nationalism.
Okay. So my last question to you would be, there is three important or more important virtues that a civil servant should have. So many are there, but if you can which are the most important and why? First part, second part of the question, just opposite. One is the three vices or the negative characteristics that a civil servant should avoid and why.
So first one quality a civil servant should have is of empathy. The We can say it as a compassion one should have first. Second thing of integrity. Third thing of emotional intelligence. Because these all would help in removing or tackling our vices and fostering our moral virtues. the three vices which I can narrate is, first one is law breaking. I mean, taking conflict of interest in the favor, that is choosing personal gains over public gains. Second thing is of corruption. Third thing is of taking non-accountability.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So that will be the end of the interview.
Thank you, sir.
Now let us come to the feedback. Overall, आपनकर first sitting position and all. तो sitting position ठीक है तो 3 times मन रखी गोटे हैला जो back rest रे out के बने के ओके मैंने जो आपनकर हां आपनकर को ना सीधा spinal cord straight बस ठीक है chair का पूरा last part में बस रे ओके so that you occupy the entire chair so that you support दबो आपन comfortably हाथ आपन एमती रखु जंती clasping of the fingers. Our body language here, it has a nervousness. One hand is seeking support from the other hand. No, it's just normally ankle ऊपर knees ऊपर रख रहे हाथ. तो सदर दीटा लाभो. The hands are locked. Movement होगा नहीं हाथर पहला बड़े. ठीक है क्या इतनी distance थी ना सिमने mostly देखी परी भी अपन को at least हाथ पर्यंत तो देखी परी. कितने जगह रे आउरी पक्षरे भी रखती so that candidate रो मुंडरो गोड़ो पर्यंत देखे रिबो so they can see your body language also. इट्ठी इतने हुए नहीं जेटा एटा रूम सुराते बहुत बड़ो न थाई पारे तो आपण जो भी जावे हो you be prepared for that. तेणु हाथ उड़ा आंखू पर रखिबे comfortably बसिबे से तो around 25 to 30 minutes interview होबो तो comfortably बसिबे. Okay. तापर आसीला content of the answers. Initial part रे आपण टिके लंबी के आंसर रो दोथिबे ताको अवॉइड करिवे टू द पॉइंट आंसर देबे एन्यूमरेट करके देबे फर्स्ट पॉइंट सेकंड पॉइंट थर्ड पॉइंट फर्स्ट रीजन सेकंड रीजन थर्ड रीजन इन दिस मैनर. Explanation, first you give them what they are asking. Okay, do you agree? No sir, I do not agree. My first reason for not agreeing is this, my second reason is this, third reason is this. But no sir, I do not agree to first question. That is what they want to know. तापर में explanation तो तेरे कहीं क्यों आगे बढ़े? Okay, main sense जब वो लिखते हैं तो हमें अपना analysis का क्वेश्चन तापर conclusion पर interview answers से सीधा उल्टा. First tell them what they are asking. Okay, then analyze why you have such an opinion. Say something. Seta minded. जोटा अपन sure नांती bluffing guessing किच्ची करीबन straight मना कर दे मुतास इधर जो ते अपन जानना है अगर तो अपन किधर थी क्या ना recall मोरा मन में पड़ू नहीं है ना जो कर whatever. So keep that in mind. Yes. So the new marks they be and अपन करा around say 160 100 ताको पुश करूँ तो 170 और 10-15 मार्क्स तो बढ़े होगा. Okay. आउटला केबे बेसिक सीरियस ही हो जाती. So smile का maintain करिए throughout the interview. So make a list of most probable questions. Why you want to join civil service? You have done so well in chemistry. Why didn't you join academia? Whatever the outcome. Okay. Why you have taken chemistry as your optional? You are such a good student in chemistry. And you have general questions about Sundargarh, important people of Sundargarh, important contribution, okay, problems of Sundargarh, currently Sundargarh kind in news, health scenario in Sundargarh. So if you want to ask to get and let Sundargarh move the development of the state and the nation perform very well. It would be a question the संभावना. So you would make a list of 3-4 success and in front of the mirror at least one session 30 minutes. Set up 45 minutes. तो आपण रिविजन भी हेजिबो प्रॉपर ओके
Yes.
ସେଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ମାଇଣ୍ଡରେ ରଖିବା ଏଟଲିଷ୍ଟ ଦୁଇଟା କି ତିନିଟା ସେମିତି ସେସନ ଏଭ୍ରିଡେ କରିପାରିବେ ଆଉ ନିଜର କ୍ୟାମେରା ଫୋନ ତାକୁ ରେକର୍ଡ କରିଦେବେ ମିରରଟାକୁ ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣ ଜାଣିକି ପାରିଲେ ହଁ ମୁଁ କହିଲା ବେଳେ ମୋ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ରେସନ ଏମିତି ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି ଆପଣ ବି ନିଜେ କ୍ଲିୟର ଦେଖିପାରିବେ ଓକେ ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ୟୁ ଡୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କର କୋଉ ଦିନ ଅଛି
5th August, 5th October.
5th ଅକ୍ଟୋବରରେ ଅଛି ତ ଧରନ୍ତୁ କହିବାକୁ ଗଲେ ଆଉ 4 ଦିନ ରହିଲା ଓକେ ତ ତାପରେ ସେଲ୍ଫ ଇଏ ଉପରେ ବେଶୀ ଟିକେ ଧ୍ୟାନ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କ कंटेंट आउ कॉन्टेक्स्ट वरिका ठीक अछि हमें प्रेजेंटेशन टा उठके इंप्रूव करि पारे सेटा ता ऊपर टिके फोकस कर
To the point, precise.
to the point enumerate
Enumerate.
okay first tell them what they want what they are asking first give them their answer okay then you give the explanation
Yes.
okay this is a situation you are the BDO you are the Tahsildar what are you going to do sir the first step that I will take is I will do this मैं communal rights है चीज बता रखे तो सिटी कौन अपन जो जगह जाते हैं communal rights है what will you do so first thing is that there is सबुठु बड़ जिनस हम कौन ना जो spread of humans तो सेटा immediately आपको internet and social media yes. according to law to ये करेंगे तापर ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କଥା ମୁଁ ପଚାରିଥିଲି justice okay so suppose you are ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାରେ ଆପଣ ପୋଷ୍ଟର ଅଛନ୍ତି ତ ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକଟେ ସେ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ଆଣ୍ଟି ସୋସିଆଲ କି ଧରନ୍ତୁ ଆଣ୍ଟି ନ୍ୟାସନାଲ କାମ କରେ ତାହେଲେ ସେ ଭାଗ କରୁଛି ଓକେ ସେଟା ଫର୍ମିଟା କରୁଛି 30% of that house is illegal. 70% of 30% enforcement. Political leadership of the state wants you to immediately demolish it. No notice, nothing. Jab say jo 30% achi illegal here, will destroy it. What are you going to do? And is it correct? Look at the way that you so far. Supreme Court recently had a state that this kind of thing directly empowering, but say Supreme Court would know that सेटा कहले से state level charges man बहुत नीचे पड़ता है okay what are you going to do six simple questions where you have to be both the approval how we can answer everybody okay this is statute generally says that before demolition notice it will be legal but notice has to be served. It will be 24 hours notice, it will be 7-day notice that there is for type of construction and the area to be removed from employees. If there is a provision, say that if there is a provision of immediate immediate eviction and immediate removal of employees, and since the authorities are ordered that, I will do it. Because we pass the statute. But if you want to do it, I will go over the rules. If it's 24 hours, I'll give them 24 hours. The thing is that fundamentally, as per law, it is not wrong because it is illegal. But the manner it has to be done. That is what we have to take. So whatever is there in the rules in the statute, I will follow. If there is provision for immediate eviction and immediate removal of encroachment, then I will do that. If order, I don't want to or if there is no provision, then I will period of notice which can be given for hours, 7 days, whatever. I will give them, and after completion of the notice period, we will demolish that illegal construction. सेटा हला अपन ना भी कहबेनी कि पूरा पूरी हां भी कहबे लॉ रे जो अछि because we will go by law. We cannot go by popular sentiment or whatever your political bosses say. Okay. It's fine to practice for smile to maintain karibe. Other things, I think, history optional is very common option. It also the history, but still then, about history, history, anyone and everyone can ask a question from anywhere and everywhere.
Odisha history teacher.
Odisha history also. You please celebrate historically, for example, Shah University is not change of a culture. So related to that, like education in Odisha, the norm of mind, what are the reasons? Okay, I'll follow better. Suppose Apollo Siddhartha, okay, governor something, it's the record power. What steps would you have taken to, mitigate the effects? Even the solutions.